Welcome back, everybody, to the Board YouTube channel for today's Pick and Roll live stream. We are back after the NBA All-Star break to bring you the live stream today, presented by the FanDuel Sportsbook, looking to attack the rest of the season, make it a good rest of the season, and make it a great year for the show. If you guys have missed us, you guys are ready for today's show, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel as well to keep up to date usually with all the content we have coming your way. We're live every weekday morning with NBA games at 9:45 a.m. Eastern time. How the show works, if you forget or if you're new to the channel, we go through the full slate of NBA games. And today, we're going to be doing the slate for today, which is just one game. So we'll also be doing tomorrow's slate of NBA games, which means no show tomorrow because we're going to be covering today and tomorrow's slate. So there's no need to do an extra show tomorrow. The reason we want to cover tomorrow's games today is because the market's been up a little bit longer. So we want to get them before they come a little bit sharper in the morning of. So we're going to be a jam-packed episode today. After we go through the slate of games, we're going to hear from you guys. We'll hear your bets. We'll hear your questions. We'll see what Pips is thinking of those. We'll answer anything. And that's all. Let's move forward with the show. We'll go back to the top of the board, the one game for today, and we bring in my co-host PipsNBA. Hopefully you did enjoy your time off, but you are ready to go for tonight's game with a bet to start.
Yeah, I mean, I was working last couple of days as well in the office, but had a good night's sleep every night without the NBA. So yeah, the rest was great, and looking forward to being back and to starting with not that great of a game with Hornets and Lakers, but yeah.
Big spread. So I mean, could have been maybe a better one. I wonder if this Wednesday game is part of the reason LeBron decided not to play in the All-Star game. But Lakers been winning plenty this season, and expectation is they will win here. Mark Williams should be playing. That'll be a bit of an interesting dynamic for the trade that didn't end up happening. Dalton Knecht was at All-Star Weekend in the Rising Stars game. Now playing against a team he thought he got traded to. So some interesting dynamics, but yes, the Lakers should win this game.
They should. I wouldn't be, but this spread shouldn't be at 12.5.
Okay. You think a bit too far?
Yeah, because I think LeBron sits. I think people will be all over him if he missed the All-Star like he did, and then playing against fucking Hornets first game like after 3 days.
Right.
I know you are a LeBron fan, but I kind of hated the way he acted at the All-Star break.
Like, I agree. I hated it as well.
Yeah. And then if he plays first game back after fucking Hornets, yeah, that would be really ugly, honestly. So if he's back, I don't think this spread is. If he's out, I don't think this spread is 12.5. And they just lost to the Utah Jazz, but like 20, with both LeBron and Doncic playing. And yeah, I could see Hornets staying in this game. Like Mark Williams is back, Miles Bridges is there, LaMelo Ball is there, George Green, Nick Smith Jr. Like they're not great players, but they are kind of decent enough. I don't know. I could see this being like a Hornets win, and I also could see this like being a 3-point blowout win for Lakers.
Right.
But yeah, we'll have a bet on this. We are going to points, rebounds, and assists, and we'll just smash LaMelo Ball's line. Think actually the best price is on FanDuel on this one.
Yeah, so FanDuel's got 35.5 at -113. I will see how that stacks up to the rest of the market. Yeah, this is best in market. There is some -115. There's -120, -125. But yeah, best price we got is right here.
Yeah. This is just like the number bet. Okay, like I will first show this. So he was out against he injured against the Lakers. Played only first quarter, never came back. Was out for like 10 days. Came back against the Spurs and played full 36 minutes. First game back, he played 36 minutes after being out with injury. Then against the Nets, another first quarter injury. And now he had an All-Star break, and it's been 8 days. And I think if he's coming back, he's going to play full minutes. He could be limited to like 32, 34. But if you take a look, when he's playing 28 plus minutes, he's over this line in 26 out of 28 with 43.5 points, rebounds, and assist average. If you go back to like 38 minutes, still the same. If you go like to 36 minutes, nothing changed. So in these minutes, like 28 to 36, his average is at 32. On average, 32 minutes, he averaged 40.5 points, rebounds, and assists, and is over in 15 out of 17. The matchup is okay. Like it's not like this is a great matchup for him. But he was putting numbers against the better defensive teams. Like he put big numbers against the Memphis, against the Cleveland Cavaliers, against the Orlando Magic, against the Houston Rockets. Another game with against Cleveland Cavaliers, against the Bucks. Like he was putting numbers on everyone. So I don't think the Lakers, especially without AD, are great defense, and he should put numbers again. Like if he gets good minutes, and I think he should.
Back with hopefully a bang on LaMelo Ball, over 35.5 PRA. It's actually minus 111 at FanDuel. So hopefully it gets us started off on the right foot for the new season. And to attack the rest of the season, consider using our presenting sponsor, the FanDuel Sportsbook, because when the game tips off, the NBA action is just beginning on FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Because FanDuel is your home for NBA live betting. So even if you missed the first few minutes of the game or want to bet on a fourth quarter comeback, you can make your picks from the first whistle until the final buzzer. Plus, you can even combine your live bets for a same game parlay for a shot at a bigger payout. However you want to play, now is the perfect time to join. New FanDuel customers get started with $150 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. So visit FanDuel.com/board to join today. That's FanDuel.com/board for your shot at $150 in bonus bets. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NBA. But must be 21 plus and present in select states. For candidates in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino or 18 plus and present in DC. First online real money wager only, $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets will expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit fanduel.com/RG. Call 1-888-79-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut or visit mdgamblinghelpline.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York. A little bit rusty here, so forgot to do the show recap at the start of the show, which we normally do. Whether or not it was a winning or losing day, we would always recap, but this was a very good day as well, which we should discuss here. If you guys recall, last time we had a show to go into the All-Star break, there was 7 official plays, 1 of which voided, 5 of which were winners. So it was a 5-1 day overall on the show. We had winners on Klay Thompson. We had a miraculous cover by Malik Beasley, if I remember correctly. We had a winner easily on Quentin Grimes, Victor Wembanyama, and Keyshawn George. Unfortunately, the loss was on Keegan Murray, but it was a 5-1 day to go into the All-Star break on the back end of what was a difficult couple of weeks in the show. So nice to get a big day like that to get us into the All-Star break. But hopefully we're coming out on top as well. Let's start with the Thursday slate. This is a much bigger slate, of course, than the one game. First game up is the Boston Celtics -8 away at the 76ers, who have just not been able to put things together this season at all.
Yeah, and we are going to have a bit, I think it's a bit surprising bet for this one. But yeah. Just moved on the FanDuel, but we're going to bet Paul George over 13.5 points.
Back to Paul George. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy seeing a Paul George line at 13.5.
Yeah, that's
minus
why
120. Minus 120, best price at a few, and it's available at a few spots here.
Yeah, I mean, minus 113, minus 114 for me on some spots where I actually bet it and didn't move, which is great, honestly. So people can get it there, like widely available. I would say widely available. Even for me from Croatia, I could get there. So Yeah,
Okay.
this line is.
Minus 115. Okay, we go minus 115 then.
Yeah, I mean, I see minus 120 is widely available, but I also like saying it's minus 115 somewhere. Uh, this line is crazy. Like, I get it. He sucks. That's the truth. Can't say otherwise. Like, he is not good. Like, that's the thing. His numbers with Embiid and Maxi also mm, they're not good at all. But we need to just look at some stuff. Like looking at the screen, he averaged 30.7 points uh, with Maxi and Embiid playing. So there is why this line is set here. Like that's the reason. Let me just check some like lower minutes. Yeah, if he's playing like 20, I don't know where is this like. Okay, he's playing 28 plus minutes. He's also average 13.8 over in 6 out of 11. So this line looks like set in the right spot. But I'll just check some numbers on Paul George because some of these games his shooting was awful, and he did somehow improve his shooting over the last, like from the first week. Like he made some 3-point shots, he made some more shots. But let's look at the game by game. Against the Toronto Raptors, average shooting 5 from 12, 14 points. Against the Bucks, weird game, 12 points. That's where it should be. Some game of these games he covered. Okay, Utah Jazz game, he shot 4 from 11 for 13 points, missed 2 free throws. So he was kind of supposed over in this game with 11 field goals and 5 free throws. He's going over this line in 80% of the games. Even this type of Paul George. Then against the Boston Celtics team that he's playing tonight, he had 12 points. Embiid was playing, Maxi was playing, 12 points, and he shot 4 from 15, 0 from 7 from 3-point line. So when you take 15 field goal attempts plus 4 free throws, he was expected to score like 18 points, and he got 12. 1-3, he made 1-3, he will be at 15 points. Spurs game, still below average shooting, scored 19 points on below average shooting. 5 points against Hornets, 2 from 12 from the field. 2 from 12. 12 field goal attempts for Paul George should be more than enough to cover 13.5 line. Like on average efficiency, he's going over this line. Average, like 55% true shooting. And then the rest games, like again, under against the Bulls, 0 from 5 from 3. So most of these unders came when he shot 0 from 5, 0 from 7 from 3, 2 from 12 from the floor. That could happen again, but the volume he is getting still is too high for this kind of line. So we need to take the over on Paul George.
All right, there we go. A compelling case in the end after you talked about how bad Paul George is, which I thought was funny.
Yeah,
But I think it does showcase your confidence in
I mean,
in a play like
one of
this.
my favorite things to do is buy low on players.
Right.
And 13.5 for Point George. He's still going to play 36, 38 minutes. So 13.5 for Paul, 30, like some role players, like huge, like I don't know which player, like Rui Hachimura, if he's playing like 38 minutes in a game, the line will be higher than 13.5. Like this is
Right.
Paul George. Also, the Boston has tendency to doubling Embiid a lot. So and leaving a lot of shots to pull up shooters and spot up shooters when there is a guy like Embiid on the floor. So yeah, I expect Paul George to have good volume here.
I'm just looking at Paul George's contract numbers here. This is the first of 4 years on a max contract with the Sixers. He's making $49 million this year. In his age 37 season, in 4 years, he'll be making, that's 27-28. He'll be making $56.5 million on a player option, which I suspect strongly he is going to take that option. So yeah.
I will add. Everyone was marking Tobias Harris' contract last season. December.
Yes, this is worse.
This is worse. Yeah,
He's worse than Tobias Harris and gets paid more than Tobias Harris.
yeah. So yeah. Uh,
I think you sent it to me. That you killed the man, but not the vision, something like that. With when they got rid of Tobias Harris, just to
yeah.
replace him with this version of Paul George. I mean, it made sense at the time. We thought the Six were going to be fantastic, but it absolutely has not worked out. Next game up, we have the Indiana Pacers hosting the Memphis Grizzlies. Pacers are 2-point underdogs here. The Grizzlies, 36-18 on the season. They've just been winning. No matter who's playing, they're winning games. Ja Morant in, Ja Morant out. They're winning games. Jaren Jackson Jr., an all-star this year, has been terrific. And there's a reason they're favored against a pretty good team away from home. How do you like this game here?
Yeah, I mean, makes sense to be kind of even. Uh, that's it. Makes sense to be
Yeah,
kind of even, and it is. So I do think the Memphis should win this one,
yeah.
especially now after the break, rested, all healthy. Think they should run away here. Even I'll probably set this at -4.5
Really?
for
Okay.
the yeah. Like they are healthy. Everyone is healthy. Like Jamoran, Desmond Bain, Jaren Jackson Jr., Aldama, Wells, Ide, Clark, Kennard, Scottie Pippen, even Vince Williams is back and healthy. Yeah, they're really good. A really
Fair
good
enough.
team.
Fair enough.
Yeah, and the Pacers, I don't know. They are weird. They can lose to the worst teams and beat one of the best. They lost to the Knicks, Lakers, Portland. Then they beat Clippers and barely beat Wizards. It was an overtime game against these Wizards. So they kind of stink. So I do think like I will make this at least 3.5 for the Memphis. And yeah.
You don't not
Uh
strongly enough to bet it though.
yeah. Uh if I needed to bet something of out this entire slate of 10 games, if I need to pick one spread, I will pick Memphis
Okay.
for sure. Yeah. Bet wise, we are going to Siakam under 22.5 points. Think it's up on the FanDuel.
So FanDuel has him 22 and a half minus 125. I'm gonna see, just compare what else is out there. Um, oof, you guys can get a 22 and a half. Some of it's moving down. There's minus 105. There's minus 125, minus 120 available here. So varying prices.
My
Minus
-115 also somewhere.
minus 115. Okay, we'll play the minus 115 here at 22 and a half.
Yeah, I mean okay.
But you can get better. You can get better
Yeah,
if you're watching.
yeah. So going with FanDuel, first off, uh, looking at the numbers, it's kind of lot of red. If we look at the entire season for Siakam, no filters applied. He's under this line in 63% of the games. When we apply filters, when like expected minutes between like 26 and 38, still remains kind of the same. Average 20.9, but also head-to-head game, he has scored 17 in 30 minutes against the Memphis. But when we look at the games where Miles Turner played, Benedict Mathurin played, Tyrese Halliburton played, and Nemhard played, like when they were really healthy, he's under this line in 19 out of 25, averaging 19.8 points. Even if you go to this like 28 plus minutes, like just a too high of a line. The line should be probably set at 20 and a half, maybe 19 and a half, but I would say 20 and a half should be the line in this one. I think this is a mistake, honestly. Like, I don't see any reason why this should be at 20 and a half because, okay, there is some arguments, and that's a recent form last, I don't know, like last, like look at like last 8 games. Last 8 games, he averaging 22 and a half, and he's over in 50% of them. But as I said, it's because Miles Turner was out. And when you look at the games with Miles Turner, it completely changes. Uh, Similar players to Siakam are under in all 6 against the Memphis. Randall twice, Jalen Brown, Bobby Portis, John Collins, like wings, under in all 6 against the Memphis. especially Randall, similar, really similar to Siakam. 18 points and 5 points. Uh, they are poor transition defense, but he doesn't have any correlation with it. When you look at the Siakam against poor transition defense teams, we can look at that he's under in 5 out of the 6. So no correlation with transition defense. And post ups are his second dominant way of scoring, and Memphis is third best in spot up defense. He could get some threes open because, as you can see, they allow a lot of spot up and they allow a lot of above the break threes. But honestly, he won't get anything on post ups and inside. So yeah, he also rewatched the game and they were sending doubles when he had a mismatch. Every time he had a mismatch, they sent double. And otherwise, he was in single coverage against Jaren Jackson Jr., who is one of the like the most difficult matchups in post ups in the league. Like he is very super long, the ex defensive player of the year. So I think I'm betting this solely because matchup is okay, but the line is too high.
Understood. Let's keep it moving. As our third official pick, Pascal Siakam under 22.5 points. Next game up, Cleveland. They are away at the Brooklyn Nets. We've got one of
Yeah,
the top of the East, near playing one of the worst in the East. They have, I mean, the Nets actually finished on a 3-game win streak to head into the All-Star break. Getting Cam Johnson back has definitely helped this team. Um, they're fourth last in the East. But anyways, big spread here, 13.5 points favoring the
yeah,
Cavaliers.
we are going to skip this game. I'll just say that if you give the Nets coach like decent players,
Oh,
he'll
Joy
make
Fernandez
player.
is a
Yeah,
great coach, man.
yeah. He's just like showing off this season. Like give him a
He's winning games with nothing, pretty much.
yeah, yeah. Give him two decent players and he'll win any game almost. Like he'll find ways. So
Yeah.
yeah, I will never bet against the spread against Nets. Like not never, but I will strongly look to stay away from betting against Nets because he can do. He will always win like uh, math game. Like he's great in winning the math game,
Yeah.
and yeah, that's difficult to cover in some scenarios. I don't know if there is a number like how are Nets against the spread this season, but I think they are doing really good.
Yeah, I will miss Jordy Fernandez as Canada's national team head coach for sure. I still wish the Raptors had gotten him. But anyways,
Yep.
Bulls away at the Knicks in their next game. New York favored by 13.5. So another very big spread here. The Bulls kind of imploding as of late. They had that 42-point loss in the second last game towards the All-Star break, then an 18-point loss in the last game before the All-Star break, a 21-point loss the day before that, the game before that, then a 19-point loss the game before that. They're losing by a lot lately. The expectation is they will lose by a lot in this one here. Any thoughts from you here?
Yeah, just looking at some stuff. Don't like on the overall on the game. I don't have anything, but I do really think one line is kind of off. Yeah, it's not widely available, unfortunately.
Well, what are you looking for? We won't put on the show, but just for people watching.
Yeah, I think Patrick Williams shouldn't be at 8.5. That's I think he'll be close to like he shouldn't be starting moving forward. He is not starting actually, and he sucks. And now they have everyone back. I could see him getting like maximum 20 minutes a game. Like against the Pistons, he played 18 minutes, even though Lonzo and Collins didn't play. Against the Pistons, again, no Lonzo, only 20 minutes. Against the Wolves, no Lonzo, no Taylor Horton Tucker, no Zach Collins. He still played only 20 minutes. Yeah, I don't see the spot for him in this rotation. It's Kobe White, Ayo, Buzelis, Vucevic, Gide, and then from the bench it's Lonzo, Huerter, Jalen Smith. Now there is Trey Jones, there is Zach Collins, there is Taylor Horton Tucker, and it's Patrick Williams. I can see him playing like 18 minutes, maybe 20. And when he gets like, I'll just put like when he gets like 22, like 16 to 22, he's under this line is 9 out of 11. Even like if he go to 24, he's still under in 12 out of 16. And the matchup is terrible and they will get blown out. The only way he covers if he's now a garbage time guy, which I don't see.
So not for the show because it's not available in enough spots, but under 8.5, -125 and -130 are out there if you care to play. I think Patrick Williams for a while was one of the most overrated players in the league. Like the amount of people who tried to con me into thinking this guy was good, and now he can't even get consistent minutes on this bad of a Chicago Bulls team.
Man, like the stuff he miss, they every single night is unbelievable. He's shooting like 40% on twos, 40% on
That's
two.
disgusting.
Yeah, and I'll just check at the rim, but he's shooting 50% at the rim, and he's
Wow.
shooting 40% from the paint, not like long twos, from the paint, 40%. That's disgusting.
Yeah. 35% from three is people always try to tell me he can shoot. Yeah, he's wide open every time he shoots a three. I hope he can get 35%.
Yeah,
So
he's 6.7, 220 pounds, and he's shooting 44% on layups.
wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, oh my
that's
God.
yeah. He's also
51% at the rim.
he is also 60% on dunks. How is that even
Yeah,
possible?
you should be like if you're as big as Patrick Williams, you should be like 70% at the rim. Like not dunks at the rim. He's 51% at the rim. I'm looking at it as well because I couldn't believe it.
Yeah. This is a
Oh,
yeah, and,
wow.
and it if you watch the games, it looks even worse. Like eye test is even worse. I will honestly watch the game and he will smoke three wide open
Yeah,
layups in
yeah.
like it's insane. And also like the misses are not even close. He will airball and layup and airball a three by like 2 feet. Like
Yeah.
it's insane.
This is
Yeah,
like when I hate to use the word casual, but when like a casual fan will look at uh 35% from three and think he can shoot threes. Like you like shooting being a shooter is not your 3-point percentage. Being a shooter is do people care about you when you shoot?
yeah,
And if the answer is no, you're not a shooter. If you were a shooter and it was an act like the 3-point percentage like showcase your shooting talent, you would get guarded. But anyways, we have his under. You maybe be able to play his under. We don't have it for the show, but if you have it in
I'm
your
I'm
region,
just I'm just betting it right now. Like,
okay. Pips is betting it, but we won't put it on the show as an official pick for tracking because we cannot get a widely available
yeah,
number that enough people can play. So bet it if you want, but won't be on the show record. Anyways, we can go to the next game. Orlando away at Atlanta. Speaking of overrated players, one of them plays for Orlando. Um, he should be. I think he's playing today.
yeah,
Anyways, Paolo Banchero. We've talked about him before. I got into an argument on Twitter about Banchero, so I kind of dug into his numbers. They're even worse than like I thought they'd be. And even last year. Last year he was an all-star, and they were still. I think it was 8 points better when he didn't play. Um, if
yeah.
you do
It's
his
insane.
net rating on and off the floor, which included games that he missed. That's astonishing, really, for a guy who's supposed to be this good. But this year, yeah, he can't make a shot this year. Anyways, on this game, Orlando -1.5 favorites away at Atlanta. Orlando have been horrible, just horrible as of late. I think they have 3 wins in their last 16 games. They've just really struggled to find some wins lately. Sorry, they've started near the All-Star. They won a couple of games, so I think they were on a 2-15 run. Regardless, they've been losing a lot of games. Are Atlanta this bad at home? They're underdogs here.
Yep.
Yes.
Uh, so yeah, they are 80. They are like 8 and 14 with Banchero playing, and they are 5 and 10 since his turn, and they won against 76ers without half the team, against Pistons, against Hornets without Lamelo. Kind of ugly. Yeah, we are repeating the bet in this one we had on the last time. We on the last show we are going to Franz Wagner over 26.5 points. Uh, he he destroyed this line last time. There are better prices, but I'm
Yeah.
okay with up to minus 122.
Okay.
There are a couple of minus 100, 110 is 110s out there. Uh, yeah, this is. Well, we bet him last time and he had 37 points. Like 10 days ago. Don't see any reason to not go back to this. He was actually covered by Dason Daniels. Got single coverage. This like he is bigger than Dason, so he was just driving on him and scoring on Dason Daniels, and they didn't change anything. And Hawks ended up winning, so I think they are kind of okay with that approach. Makes total sense. Uh, France ended up. We can show like like France had ended up the game with 29 field goal attempts, and I think that's a season high. I'll just check, but I think that's a season high. Yeah, that's a season high. His usage was at 39%. That's not a season high, but really close. Just by like taking like when he has like 33%, 35% usage, like he's destroying this line. We need to use the minutes because in those games he played level lost minutes. But just by looking like this, when he's playing 30 plus minutes and 33% usage had higher, he's crushing this line. But we won't do it like this. We'll just check when he plays 32 plus minutes. So he scores most of his points as a pick and roll ball handler. As I said, single coverage, they'll let him play single coverage one on one. The Hawks allowed third most. So we'll just exclude top 5 teams against pick and roll ball handlers. Then we see that he scores most of his points at the rim, 37%. Hawks fourth worst rim defense. So we'll look how he scores against bottom like 10 teams in rim defense, and we can see now that he's over in every single game, like 32 plus minutes, excluding best pick and roll ball handlers defense, and looking at bottom 10 in the rim defense, over in 9 out of 9 games, averaging 31.1 points and having 37 highest of all of these games against Hawks. Looking at the usage in this case, it's 34%. But most of these games were without Paolo Banchero. But when we look usage with Paolo Banchero in the games where he gets the bigger minutes, his usage with Paolo Banchero is 1% higher than in the games without Paolo Banchero. So Paolo Banchero doesn't affect his usage, so it doesn't change much. And yeah, when we look at the games when he played with Paolo Banchero and when he got 32 plus minutes, he still averaged 28.1 no matter the matchup, and over in 5 out of 8. So another good bet.
Yeah,
us.
he has been the player that has been making the Orlando Magic better this season. His net rating is fantastic. It's
Yeah.
Banchero been kind of weighing them down. But anyways, here we have the over on Franz Wagner points once again, hopefully to good avail once again. That is our fourth official play of the day. If you guys are enjoying the show, please make sure that you do hit that like button, support the content that we are doing here on the Board YouTube channel. We'll go to our next game. The Los Angeles Clippers are away at the Bucks. Bucks are favored by 1 point in this game here. Any thoughts on this?
This one is interesting. We don't know what's the thing with Giannis. Someone said have him not playing. Someone have him as questionable. Some having him with no status. I think he could be out. And in that case, +1 on Clippers looks great because Kawhi Leonard is off the minutes restriction.
Mhm. Okay.
No idea why this is -1 for the Bucks. Yeah, there are lines for Giannis, but my two sources have him out, and two other sources have him questionable. I
Okay.
think both of these first sources I said will upgrade him to questionable tomorrow, but I think there is really like 50-50 chance. So my +1 on Clippers doesn't make much sense. Especially when you look at that they played earlier this season, like I would say less than a month ago, and Clippers won by 10.
Mhm.
And yeah, we have an official bet. It's Kawhi Leonard over 27.5 points, rebounds, and assists.
Okay. Going for, you just mentioned off of his minutes restriction. So going for the combo line here at 27.5. Seeing what's available here. -113 best price that we have. There's also -116, -115, -120 as well. But FanDuel has us at -113 for this play here.
Yep. Uh, Finally, last three games played 32, 3, 31 in a blowout in 34 minutes. So he is off the minutes restriction. Maybe not completely, but he is projected to play 34 like he played in the last three games. Now he had additional rest, All-Star break, so he probably should play normal minutes now. Uh, if you take a look at this, he averaged 23.6 points, rebounds, and assists this season while playing 26 minutes. So he averaged like 0.9 something per minute. And if he's going to play 34 minutes, he's expected to have like 30 points, rebounds, and assists. I'll just extrapolate the numbers on the last season data. So this season he averaged 28% usage. If you take a look at the last season, when he has usage at, let's say, as low as 22%, like he has 28% this season. When you look at the last season, when he had 22% and played between 28 and 36 minutes, he was over this line in 25 out of 30 games and averaging 32.5 points. So this line doesn't make much sense. Like on this graphic, on all of these games, his average minutes are 31.8. So he averaged last season and the season before, he averaged points, rebounds, and assists per minute. And he's going to play 34 minutes. So 27.5 is like weird line because like if he's playing at 34 minutes, you expect him to have like 32 points, rebounds, and assists. So I expect a line at 29.5 or 30.5. So seeing 27.5 is, I think, way off, honestly. And we can look at the game against the Bucks. He had 25 points, rebounds, and assists against the Bucks earlier this season, while playing only 24 minutes. So he almost covered it in heavy minutes restriction at 24 minutes.
Mhm.
And in that game, he shot 17 times in 24 minutes. He was really going like attacking Giannis and their drop coverage with Brook Lopez. He really got going. He had 31% usage in that game. So 31% usage. we don't even need to look at the last season. I'll show you last season, just the usage part. Like first setting the minutes in the right range, like 30, 28 to like 38, just to get the bigger sample size. And when we go to the usage one, uh, he had 32% against the Bucks. When you look at the games, he had like 26% usage. This is crazy. Like this is Kawhi Leonard with 28 plus minutes with 26% usage, and he had 32 against the Bucks earlier this season. His cover index is 28 out of 29. Only game he didn't cover was the game against the Memphis, where he shot. I mean, he shot average but he converted only on that game was problem on rebounds and assists because he had rebounds and assists on 16 potentials. So that's the reason. But points wise, he was covering as well. So yeah, this is just I think offline, and we are betting the over. Matchup is kind of positive. He scores most via transition and pick and roll ball handlers. So we can see that Bucks are bottom 10 in both. Above the break threes, they are also not doing well there, and he scores a ton of mid range. And we know how they play drop coverage, so that there should be looks as well. Yeah, so that's our fifth and the last bet on the show.
All right, 5 bets for the show. We'll briefly touch on the last few games that we have as well. If you or do you want to skip them, or do you want to touch on the last few games? Up to you.
We can actually skip them. I don't like it's Hornets tomorrow. We don't know they're playing tonight, so honestly nothing there. And the Suns against the Spurs.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can just say that the Spurs are the favorites in this one.
And then the Lakers as well which they play tonight as well. So same deal as the Charlotte game. Second night back to back for both of them. So 5 official bets on the show. If you guys are enjoying, please make sure you do hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. We're live weekday mornings when there are NBA games, except not tomorrow because we're covering all the Thursday games today. But let's get to the chat. You guys have any bets you would like us to go through? You guys have any questions you would like us to answer? Please send them on in to the chat. We're at a strange spot where no questions are queued up as of yet. So I'll give you guys a minute or two to
You guys came not prepared for this one.
send them in. I think a lot of people may have thought that we weren't going to do a show today, or we were not only going to cover the one game today as a possibility.
Could be.
But first one, we have Philip NBA ask about Miles Bridges under 11.5 rebounds and assists.
Yeah, if Mark Williams is back and Lamela is playing, I think that makes sense. The numbers are quite saying that. I don't know what's the price. I can see that price is really juiced on the markets, but
Let me see. I don't even see Miles Bridges lines.
I do. I see a lot of his lines for rebounds and assists actually, but I don't see it at a good price. Like it's minus 140s, minus 135s. I mean, I don't think this should be. I mean, yeah, I get it, but Lakers kind of should allow a lot of rebounds to the wings as they go small with Hayes at the 5. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of okay. Okay if you get minus 125 or better. That's the comment.
All right. That is the first bet that we've got here. Second one, Mike Armstrong asked about Mark Williams over 23.5 points plus rebounds at minus 120.
Sure, but we don't know the minutes for Mark Williams. Is he on minutes restriction coming back from the injury, or I would like need to see that. Let me just check. He is projected to play 28 on some sources. I don't know honestly about that. Like, yeah, if he's playing, yeah, I don't know. Weird one. If he's playing like 28, 25 or plus minutes, of course that should be that should be a great bet. But maybe they put some restriction to his name. Yeah, because if he's playing 28 minutes, 25 minutes, he should be like 25 and a half points, rebounds, and I think 26, 27 points, rebounds, and assists. Like, this is, I'll just show on the screen. Like, when he's playing 20, just like this, 25, so 24 to 32. He's over 6 out of 10, averaging 27.6, and the line is 24.5. There are 23.5s out there. So yeah, like he's crushing this line if he gets these minutes.
Okay, so if you're expecting minutes, a good number to take on the over, but it's probably priced because of the uncertainty around the minutes there. Next up, Johnny C asked about Austin Reeves over 11.5 rebounds plus assists at plus 100.
This is very much, this is a good line, honestly. Like, I get it. Last two games, he had like 14 and 13, but that's Utah Jazz, like one of the best matchups out there. And I don't know about his rebounds. Like he's been rebounding like crazy lately. I don't know. Like it doesn't make much sense with LeBron out there, who's heavy rebounder, with Luka out there, who's heavy rebounder, with Vanderbilt in the minutes. Like also Hornets are allowing
Well,
averaging
the Pacers game, Doncic didn't play. So last two games he's had a lot.
Yeah, but he had
Yeah,
15
9 and 5.
rebounds. 15 rebounds 14 rebounds on 17 rebounding chances. That's that's not sustainable, not even close. Also, assist wise, I don't think he's getting 26 potential assists over two games. Like that should be 13 potential assists tonight. I don't see it.
Right.
But if LeBron is out, that could then it turns out to be a good bet. So I don't know. No opinions.
Okay, last one. We've got Victor Wembanyama. Just a question about his points total. Seems rather low to Anthony at 22.5. This is available minus 115, minus 120, minus 125 or so. What do you think on the point line where it is today?
Over. I'll show you on the screen. I can show you when he is playing 30 plus minutes against teams who are ranked as below average defense, or like bottom 10 defense, or any kind of poor defense. We can see that he's crashing this line. Just going by below average, we can see that he's over this line in 16 out of 22, 27.4 points, rebounds, and points. If you take a look when he's playing top teams, we can see it's a completely different picture. Like if he's playing teams who are above average in defense, 22 points average, under in more than overs. And if you take a look on the other side, like it's 5.2 points swing. So he should thrive against the poor defense of Phoenix Suns. Even though his usage went down with Fox addition, I still think 22.5 is kind of low. And post All-Star, VMB should be a beast, even though he was a beast before.
Okay, so a strong lean towards the over there. That's all for the questions. That's all for the show. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. Please hit that like button if you enjoyed. Subscribe for more content just like it. Reminder, we're not going to be live tomorrow because we covered all of tomorrow's games right now. So we can move to the recap of the official picks in the show, and it's loaded. Hopefully you're well taken care of. 5 official picks in the show. LaMelo Ball over 35.5 PRA to start us off. We got it it was actually minus 111 at FanDuel. Wrong one there, but minus 111 at FanDuel. In the Boston and Philadelphia game, we got Paul George over 13.5 points at minus 115. We took Pascal Siakam under 22.5 points at minus 115. Then Franz Wagner over 26.5 points at minus 110. And to finish off, Kawhi Leonard over 27.5 PRA, minus 113, available at FanDuel. Thanks again, guys. Thank you for remembering us, coming back. We'll be back for you on Friday. So hit the notification bell so you know when we're going live next, and we will see you again next time for Pick and Roll presented by FanDuel.